Yeah.
You quite done with it?
Yeah.
Polite inquiries, day 4 from Edgbaston. Vish is not done with his hair yet. Can I give you another couple of minutes?
It's
for
too
this?
windy.
It is
It's
a
not
little
windy,
bit.
it's just Virat Kohli shouting at us from over there.
Jez asks, are there any better Are you quite done with your... I think we're now done. I'm going to start. Are there any better duos than Bairstow and Root in full flow? And that was Jez who asked that question.
I mean, I could probably think of a few, maybe not on the spot.
Lakshman Dravid,
Yeah.
Yunus Yusuf,
Yeah.
Cook
yeah.
Strauss, maybe not.
I mean, Cook and Strauss, nice to wake up to the next morning when they batted in Australia. Maybe not to like witness the whole thing. With all due respect to them, I've shown them no respect whatsoever there, so sorry.
Absolutely none.
I think the coolest thing about what they did today, from an English perspective, was that they just played like they would have done maybe 2 or 3 years ago, or even last year, or even at the start of this year.
Or as Root has done pretty much his entire career. It's been really evident this last year and a bit, but also this summer. It's almost impossible to stop Joe Root from scoring.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean he has to go at like 109 in reverse scoop Tim Southey for 6. He just picks gaps so easily. Bad Intelligence asks, this is not a polite inquiry. For years, Pakistanis wanted Omar Akmal to become Virat Kohli. How sad is it to see Kohli slowly turning into Omar Akmal? Wait.
Look what you've done.
Look, Virat Kohli still eats better food than Omar Akmal. Virat Kohli has not accused his coaches of being bleeps. Yet. Virat Kohli has not accused anyone of fixing matches.
Sure.
Yet. Virat Kohli still has better hair. Omar Akmal has never been seen in a beard. I don't know if you have anything to add to this list.
I mean, I knew you'd take this question personally. I didn't know you'd vouch for Kohli.
Did you live by my list? I had a list ready. Muli asks, how are India so consistently poor with DRS?
It's a strange one, isn't it? Really strange. You can almost understand it now more when the decision maker is a bowler. The bowler think everything's out. But it is peculiar, because Dhoni was pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. You know what? In their defense, I think the only really bad one they went for today was the Jadeja one, which was clearly outside leg stump. And that was when Bumrah was off the field and Jadeja kind of forced Pant into taking that review. And the other two were, I mean, one of them looked out to us, which was the one that went high.
I think I said to you at the time, I was amazed it wasn't given out in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's why the umpires are the umpires and we're just these two chumps doing this chump show. Hassan Tahir asks, will this baseball approach curses under his breath. Will this baseball approach start a new trend of teams wanting to chase bat last in tests like T20s and ODIs, especially in conditions like Sina? Actually, it's a pretty decent question, which I think you touched upon today.
Yes, yeah, ish. I mean, like, what England are doing is great and all, but it's helped by the pitches, it's helped by the fact that the ball doesn't last very long. And if it does and it's changed and it starts reversing, then it doesn't do it for very long either. I've been fighting against the idea that this is the result of England having such a white ball strength. But I was talking to a couple of people about this in the box, and we were trying to think of another team who could mimic this. And apart from maybe India in certain grounds in India, I couldn't really think of any, or certainly we couldn't really think of any. There's been a lot of complaining about the English games being skewed more towards white ball cricket, and undoubtedly, people spend a lot of time with the white ball, training with the white ball more so than ever before. And I think the idea that it wasn't transferable relied on the fact that in English conditions, the ball tends to do a bit more. But in this window, it hasn't.
Abid asks, the drop by Vihari of Bairstow, is this the turning point of the match? Well, he dropped him on 14.
Yeah.
And Bairstow's just about, apart from the other guy he's batting with, Bairstow's probably the worst guy in the world to drop right now.
Yeah. Wilmer Thurston for the Evening Standard made a really good point where he said, India looked flustered in their field settings. We mentioned it before there about the field being spread in the outfield, but actually the slips were closer.
Yeah.
So it was like they were waiting for the big hits over there and they weren't quite prepared for the big hits, the closer they were. And I suppose that's, a bit of confusion on that part. I thought it was a really tough chance. I know it was a drop.
It flew.
Yeah. It flew from the guy who's hitting them better than anyone at the moment.
Also, it wasn't the turning point of the match, really. I think if we want to really dig into it a little bit more, India's batting today, I think, kind of lost the plot a little bit.
100%.
And Vikram Rathore, the batting coach, came out and said that they had a really ordinary day, which I was surprised by. He was fairly forthright about it. He said had a very ordinary, sorry, I'm just trying to fix my phone, had a very ordinary batting day. They fell to the short ball plan, which was fairly obvious, but they fell to it. They've done it before against South Africa earlier in the year. So, I think kind of like what happened with New Zealand in the Trent Bridge test, that third innings, England actually bowled fairly well, I think, and the batting was a little bit ordinary. Haseeb asks again, who's favourite on day 5? And I said, I thought it was a pretty witty, quick answer, which you've now completely spoiled the momentum of. I said, I'm the favourite.
You're the favourite.
I am the favourite on day 5.
You're the people's favourite.
I'm the people's champion.
Dwayne Johnson, if you're watching, have a word.
Can you smell what the Oz is cooking?
I mean, it's got to be England, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it hurts me to say that.
Why?
I don't know, but it feels like I'm doing something that I've
Kick
never
this
done.
man out of the
I've
country.
never done this before. That's not the English psyche. The English psyche is never to think you're favourite. It's about celebrating those underdog victories, even when you're actually the top dog. But they've kind of won it today, and it feels like if they don't win it tomorrow, then they would have royally messed up.
Which they've never done before.
Never. And also, like, India should get all the credit, but like they should be going to sleep today thinking, it's so in our hands.
Yeah, they should. And I'd qualify by just saying that it is Bumrah and Shami, and they'll come in tomorrow, and they'll think to themselves that we have just long spells to bowl after resting tonight. They'll probably get a ball changed at some point. I'd be surprised if they didn't get the ball changed at some point.
We don't need to worry about 80 overs anymore. It's 30 overs. 21 overs today.
We haven't had to worry about the second new ball in the second innings for a long time now. And on that rather serious note, I thought we'd end with something funny. I thought you might say something funny about being.
Why don't you cut another promo and take us away?
I'm done with kicking. What do we need to do? I don't know. Should we do like a? No, we shouldn't. That's it. We will see you tomorrow at the end of what should be a famous victory for one of two sides.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.